started, but it's funny because when I thought about doing this,
Yeah.
probably 5 months ago, back in January, I think I'm getting some videos on LinkedIn.
Yep.
And then I thought, well, I did the radio thing. How do I kind of combine it?
Yeah.
And frankly, you never heard me on the radio, I don't think.
No, I don't think I did. No. Nope.
So, and I remember, and one of the reasons you should be the first guest, other than my wife, well, because you were one of the first brokers I spoke with Realtor.com.
Yeah, it's a long
And
time ago. I know.
yeah, so so here we are having
Yeah.
fun with the technology,
Yeah.
yet it does feel like it's 1998,
It
99.
does. Yeah, it does. It really does. Yep.
It's like we have this new world, whatever you want to call it. We have all this noise. You see, I really appreciate you watching the videos.
No, it's cool. I love the music stuff.
When I went
That's why.
Well, so I went to the CEO exchange, and guess the feedback I got was, you got to do more. And part of me says, well, you don't want more of me. But maybe I should do some of the interviews because,
Right.
and I want to make them fun because I've watched some of these vlogs, blogs, whatever the heck you want to call them, and it's almost like they have such a mission. I don't really want to have a mission. My goal is to promote kindness.
Yeah.
My goal is to somehow help motivate through the mess. At the end, we want to laugh.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, Mike, going back to the beginning days, we did a lot of laughs at ourselves.
Absolutely. No.
At the industry of how we're trying to embrace this crap. But
I think that's why we connected so well. Is we had a lot of similarities with regard to what our personalities were. So there was a lot in common, and that just kind of like boom, it was there immediately too. It's funny. It wasn't like it's something that grew. It was like the first time I met you, I was like, I like this guy. He's pretty cool. So.
Well, definitely mutual.
And then you talk about relationships, John. Look at here we are, like you say, 10, 15 years later. 25.
It's about 20 now, Mike. It's about 20. It's about 20.
Oh my God, John. 25 years later, and here we are. I'm looking at each other. We look a little older.
Yeah.
But we still kind of like have the same attitude about life. You got to just kind of make the best every day, man.
Well, I've kind of been watching you from afar, and I know you've gone through some transitions, and I decided that I'm trying to cap my real estate radio in a minute, and I'm trying to do these interviews in 3 minutes or less.
Okay.
And I thought, you're the first, so we're gonna have fun with it. I thought I'm gonna do 3 questions. One will be about the business, and 2 will be just fun. So cool. We'll start with one I think I know the answer to. Are you a little bit country, or are you a little bit rock and roll?
I'm all rock and roll, dude. All rock and roll.
but to be fair, you do have a little bit of that country rock influence, being a Skinner guy, a Marshall Tucker guy, an Alabama guy, right?
Absolutely. Yeah,
so,
I'm probably a Southern rock guy, John. I wouldn't call it a country rock. I'd call it a Southern rock, like you said, Molly Hatchet, the Outlaws, that kind of stuff. So,
yeah, but we think of country, we can think of the old twangy Willie Nelson kind of country, or we can think Garth Brooks and all the new stuff, the contemporary country. But I appreciate all music, but I love my Willie, but I just can't sit there for more than a few minutes. Yeah. So I'm with you. I'm more on the rock and roll side. And then,
rock. Yep. I thought you were. Yep.
Yeah, but I appreciate all music. I really do respect it all, and I listen to new age music once in a while. I'm sure that's one of your favorites, Mike.
Well, once in a while, it depends. It depends, John. So I mean, you know what? I'll listen to anything once. How's that?
Yeah, give it a shot. I agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
You got to do that. Yep.
We know that. So let's do a quick bit on the market. Running the team up there, and I met you in the kind of middle of nowhere, Connecticut, back in the day, and my wife and I actually were thinking of moving up into Harwinton area and thinking of some areas up there. But so how are things going? Your market, we know, typically across the U.S. inventory is tight, but it looks like things are opening up a little bit. What's your thought there? I know it's a serious question, Mike. I'm sorry.
So I'm not. Right now, John, I've actually transitioned into an office leader for Berkshire Hathaway in Newington and Wethersfield. I was just recently named a Wethersfield leader as well. And
love that Candace Adams.
With Berkshire Hathaway she's awesome, unbelievable. I have a lot of respect for her. I really admire her. So I'm 5 years with Berkshire now. And I have to say, I think the last 5 years have been similar year over year over year. The Connecticut marketplace just seems to be struggling along, but the agents that we have in our company have such a high level of making sure that their values are in line with what the consumers' values are in line with it, that we've had the opportunity to be successful in that regard. And we can't control what the state economy is going to be, but we certainly can control how we treat people. And I think that that's really been the secret to our success, is that we're really trying to be the realtors and the brokers that have that empathy and that compassion to try to work with our clientele the best we can to make sure that their whole transaction is successful in every way we can. And we certainly can't control where prices are going or where the economy is going to go, but we can certainly do our best to make the process as smooth as possible. So that's what we've been doing, and I kind of think that's where it's all going to go, John. I don't think it's going to change much in the next several years. So
it's going to be the hand holding. The fact of the matter is, no matter how much is out there for the consumer, at the end of the day, the realtor holding the hand of the consumer should never.
I firmly believe that. I really firmly believe that. And been in this is 36 years this year for me. And yeah, I know it's crazy. And all along as I was growing up in this industry, there was always talk that, oh, they're never going to need realtors. It's going to come along where they're not going to need realtors. And that's never happened. And I don't foresee it happening. And with all the technology that makes it easier for people, there's still such a need for that relationship and that experience to help people through. And I think the consumer really feels the need to have somebody in their corner. And I think that our industry benefits from that. And I think that for the most part, most of the agents are doing it the right way. And I know the agents at Berkshire Hathaway are, and I know that my agents in my offices are. So
right on.
And that makes me feel good. So.
Right on. And then on the bottom here, we'll have Mike's email and phone number for those who want to reach out. Seriously, that's part of the gig, right? You got to share the love.
Hey, what the hell, man? Why not?
So, well, that's, we should do a circle back on some of this stuff. And I love when people do the circle back. There's all these little phrases that we have now in our world that we didn't have as kids. One of them, with what we're doing right now, this is the 3 words that we're hearing all the time now. Who just joined? I'm sorry. Who just joined?
Yeah.
And it's such a disconnect, because even though this is just video, it's so much better than being on a faceless conference call. And so, Mike, I appreciate you getting on for this first effort at this. We have known each other about 20 years now. So the last one will be, I think we might have some similarities on this one. So the question would be, on your bucket list, there's something that you no matter what, because I have a bunch that I'm looking at. I know that probably not, but there's some that I'm going to make sure happen. What is that one for you that you're going to try at least really make sure happens?
Wow. I've been to Ireland once when I was 19 years old, and I enjoyed it, but a lot of things in my life have changed since I was there, and I would like to go back again to do a little bit more personal searching with regard to my interests, and a lot of that is music related. So I'd like to go back to Ireland again one more time. There you go.
So number one on my bucket list is Europe, and number 1 in Europe is Ireland. So
no way, really?
Oh, and anyone in this house, my family will attest that I have a dream of getting to Australia, but being a motion sickness guy, my chance of flying for 40 million hours is probably not going to happen. So we're going to Ireland.
Nice.
Now I'm pretty sure U2 won't be the outro song for our time here. But
that's pretty cool, though, man. I like that.
I do. That's what these things are for. You find that little gem. So, Mike,
I'm telling you, dude, that is so similar. I mean, there you go. 20 years later, and we still have the same similarities, even though we haven't seen each other in probably 10 of those 20 years, man. But I feel like I saw you yesterday.
It's awesome. I can tell you we'll do this again. And Mike, I appreciate it. As you know, Real Estate Radio always signs off with good day.
Hey, good day and good luck.